What is going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite for a bit of a different and personal video tonight. And tonight's video is also brought to you guys by NOCD, a group that reached out to sponsor tonight's video to make sure we talk about something that I don't think gets enough attention on YouTube, and that's OCD. And you guys know I have it. I recorded this video about 20 times now, so I have to make sure I get this right. And this one really hits home for me. I would say doing YouTube and playing Call of Duty for the past decade now has developed a couple of different problems and habits for me, which I'm not afraid to admit here tonight. And it's something that I've talked about on stream before. When I have talked about it on stream, I received some personal DMs from people stating that they also have OCD or they experience similar symptoms, or I have people that don't know how to deal with it. So tonight we're gonna go ahead and break down exactly what OCD is, how to best deal with it, as well as who you can actually talk to make sure you properly diagnose yourself with what type of OCD you might actually have in your day-to-day life. So starting off with my story here, I've been doing YouTube content for quite some time now, and over the years I've noticed a couple of different strong symptoms of OCD. I would say one of the strongest ones is perfectionism. A lot of you guys might experience this if you do content creation full time. It's just a part of the game, right? I would say some examples are making sure I post videos almost at a certain time every single night or else I get bothered. Probably doesn't even matter when I post, but something in me is like, you know what, post at a certain time because videos typically do better when you post at that time. It's probably just luck, but that's something that's ingrained in my brain now. Over editing even the simplest of videos when I don't need to. I mean, it's hard for me to sit there and produce a video with little to no editing because I just feel like I'm not conveying myself in the best way possible. I'm not matching what I'm talking about in the commentary, so sometimes I over edit even the shortest videos on my channel. I have to stress re-recording commentaries several times. I stress that very much since I want to make sure the commentary comes out as perfect as can be with as few takes as possible. It's unnecessary, right? But sometimes I'll be halfway done with the video, the commentary that is, and I'll be like, you know what? I don't think I sounded clear enough in the video. Let me just restart from the beginning. And there's no reason to do that, but sometimes I'm just like, you know what? I want to make sure that the commentary is as best as can be, so I'll go ahead and do that, which could prolong the production of some of my videos, which is a bit unnecessary sometimes, but it's just a part of having OCD every single day. And I would say I'm a big guy when it comes to continuity, so I want to make sure that my title, thumbnail, gameplay in the actual video is real well connected. It all represents exactly what I'm talking about in the video itself. And I would say when I've scrolled through other channels that make similar content to mine, I've actually been bothered by seeing people that have a lack of continuity with titles, thumbnails, and gameplay. They don't really match what the topic is of their video. It doesn't even matter, it's not my business, but that's what happens when you become a perfectionist with YouTube content. It just gets to me and I'm like, damn, I would do it this way. Why is this person doing it that way? And you know what? That's just the way it is with doing content for so long. But when it comes to that, I would say YouTube has really made me a perfectionist when it comes to the production value on a day-to-day basis. Nothing really wrong with that. I would say production value is really important when it comes to videos or streams, but there comes a point when I'm like, you know what, I could have got this done faster if I knew how to overcome some of these stages of OCD. So that's why tonight's sponsor really hits home for me, because I'm presenting you guys with a group that can assist with something that you might not have thought there was actually a solution to, or a problem that you might not know you even had on a day-to-day basis. Everybody can have OCD regardless if you make content creation, but I would say in my case, if you do content every single day, you probably experience a lot of these symptoms that we're going to talk about tonight. So NOCD's mission is to create a better everyday life for the 8.25 million people with OCD by making care more accessible, more connected, and more effective. And that's what's great about this generation. You have groups out there with resources and technology that didn't exist back then, focusing on conditions, diseases, problems, anything out there that hasn't got enough focus to the point people get misdiagnosed quite often. So OCD should be a very simple problem to understand in today's generation, which is great. And also, to be clear, not all mental health conditions are the same, and they're not treated the same either. Mental health conditions should be treated by someone who is specialized and experienced in treating said condition. I mean, I see people out there that think they have something and they just didn't because they were talking to the wrong people. Now, it's worth remembering that OCD is a disorder, not a disease, so let's make sure we understand the correct term for it in tonight's video. And I would say in the past it was very easy to mix up different disorders, different diseases, and with this generation there are so many new disorders and diseases to where you can still get confused, but let's make sure we clear the air here in the video tonight. But fun fact for you guys, roughly 1 in 40 people, so 9 million total United States, suffer from OCD or OCD related symptoms. That's a lot of people, and OCD is often misdiagnosed as other conditions, so people out there are probably suffering from this and are incorrectly told that they're suffering from something else, and that's a problem. I know I personally have my own family who does have OCD. I have people in my family who don't want to admit it, people in my family that don't think there's anyone capable of helping them fix this problem, and that's why I'm really happy with the sponsor tonight, because this is something that hits home for a lot of people that I know and myself, and there is a solution for all of this, and the clinically proven therapy for OCD is called ERP. Talk therapy doesn't help in the ways you guys might think. It does help for other problems. When it comes to OCD, it could actually make OCD worse in the long run. So ERP is under the umbrella of CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, but it is not CBT. So let's make sure we distinguish the difference between ERP and CBT, two different things entirely. So ERP is a specific type of therapy that works with patients to face their intrusive thoughts in a controlled and supervised environment, starting with those that are least uncomfortable and working towards those that are more difficult to work with. So I would say OCD works with all different types of people, whether they're on the left side of the spectrum or the right side of the spectrum, in terms of how they're handling OCD in day-to-day life. This is real important. So OCD has a unique platform where users can get guidance outside of medical appointments. OCD provides live face-to-face therapy with licensed therapists specialized in treating just OCD. So between sessions, members can get access to self-help tools and a peer support community on their mobile app. So I will leave a link down below in the description. NOCD is a very simple to use app on all mobile platforms. NOCD is also real affordable. Their services are covered by most major healthcare providers, but in the case that you can't get coverage through your insurance provider, NOCD offers some real flexible payment options to their already reasonably priced services, which is a breath of fresh air for everybody. And they're also proven to be effective. They have patients who have shown significant improvement in most cases within 10 weeks of treatment, and a little over 2 months and you're seeing improvement. That's magic right there. It's insane to see. And when you compare this to other therapies that take years to see improvements, this makes a real compelling case for NOCD all the way around. And they're also confidential. Just like any other therapy service that you might have seen before, their therapists are required to obey the same rules and practices as any other therapist you might have seen. Confidentiality is huge when it comes to admitting you have a problem, talking about your problems, working through them, talking to therapists and being real open about issues they might not tell anybody else. So it's great to hear that NOCD respects all those guidelines, and their therapists are also trained in ERP, as I said. So they have professional licenses, but they're specifically trained by world-class ERP therapists and have ongoing training to ensure that they continue making sure that they polish every single part of what the ERP therapy is all about. And they're also evidence-based. The service is covered by most health insurances, and OCD's integrated ERP therapy has been shown by researchers at Columbia University Medical Center to reduce OCD severity by, you're not going to guess this, an average of 40% in just 8 weeks. I mean, it's unbelievable, and it shows that people with OCD felt better in 50% less time per OCD specialist provider, as opposed to doing talk therapy or other methods that exist out there. OCD are also a very empathetic group. Their CEO and founder, Stephen Smith, suffers from OCD himself, and his journey actually inspired the start of the company many years ago. And that's heartwarming, but I've always had the belief that when a CEO or founder of a company deals with an issue firsthand that makes a career out of it, they'll be able to produce the best possible results, the most genuine results, since they know what it's like. They know where to start, how to give you advice, how to diagnose you, how to take steps to overcome issues the way they may have years ago. And that's the best part about this, right? There weren't resources like this many years back that focused on just OCD, and now there are. Hopefully that makes you more comfortable with admitting you have this problem. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. So anyone, and I mean anyone showing symptoms of OCD, even in the slightest bit, can benefit from this app. It's free to download, so take a look at their services. No restriction on age, gender, or ethnicity at all. And this is life-changing, because imagine people out there who have hobbies or career paths but aren't reaching their max potential just because of these symptoms of OCD. I mean, it's ridiculous. And the app is free. Don't hesitate. Talk to somebody about these problems. Understand what the problem is. Talk to people who've dealt with it in the past, and set up a game plan to then show improvement in just a couple of weeks' time. You'll be so much better at your craft just by going through some of these small issues like this with the disorder of OCD. And when it comes to me, I know I already have speaking and stuttering issues, but adding OCD on top of that doesn't make things easier. So bringing down level of severity as much as possible in just a few weeks' time can better improve my production value and make sure that my life is stress-free when making daily content. But that is about it. This has been DK Dynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. If you or anybody you know are dealing with OCD, download the app today with the link down below in the description. Really hope you enjoyed, and peace out, everyone.